up? It has been a minute since I've last made a video. There's a kid in my driveway. Anyways, wanted to end the year with a video. Every time I would try and make one throughout the year, I would just lose motivation. It just was not my year for creating anything. However, you know, 2020 was a huge whirlwind. Obviously, we're all going through it together. Let's see what happened. I got COVID in July, late July, early August, so got over it. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever been through, but it definitely was not fun. I don't want to do it again. My dog died, but I got a new dog you know, obviously after he passed away. He was 15, lived a phenomenal life, and I got an Australian Shepherd, which I'll show you right here. His name is Speck. Let's see, I tore a muscle in my shoulder, thus I had shoulder surgery. 2 weeks ago, I actually get my stitches out tomorrow. I have a couple things of stitches. Let's see. That's about it. I mean, things with my vehicles, they're the exact same. I drove my Jeep a ton because, you know, working from home, the weather was nice. It wasn't unbearably hot here this summer in Oklahoma, so I drove it around a lot. My GTI just hit 36,000 miles on it. I didn't put a ton of miles on it this year. I think I put right around 9. Because again, working from home, but my vehicles are pretty much the exact same. Nothing's really changed there. So one major thing did happen with my GTI, which I will have a little story time right now. So if you're not in the mood for a story, go ahead and log off. It's not too long, but it's going to be kind of lengthy. I decided, hey, I'm going to drop my car off where I purchased my tires, and I went to the zoo with my mom and my niece. And when I came back, I picked it up. They had rotated my tires and everything was good. I was on my way. Hopefully with this story, I'm not going to say who it was just because I have a family member that actually works for the company. They work at a different location, which I now visit. I will not go to the one here in my own town anymore. But what ended up happening was I was playing golf that evening and I locked my keys in my car. They were in my golf bag. And so I called my mom, who has an extra set. I said, hey, can you come pick me up? We live a street away from each other and we both live by the golf course. So she comes and brings me my keys and she said, where'd you get that dent at? And I was like, what? And I will show you the picture right here of what she noticed. I never noticed it. I trust that company that I bought my tires from, and I know I was naive and not walking around my car and looking, but kind of what I pay attention to whenever I have my tires rotated is the actual tires or the actual wheels to make sure they haven't been scuffed or hit or anything like that. And where this particular dent was, I did not even think to look. My eyes never go there. When I'm coming to get in the vehicle in my garage, it's such a tight squeeze that I don't even have really the opportunity to see that part of my car. So after I noticed that, I think, what in the world? I've been hit. Someone, you know, opened up a really low door into me. A buggy hit me, something. A buggy, a shopping cart. And long story short, I posted the picture on my car club group on Facebook and was just kind of venting about it. And everyone was like, wow, Jenna, that really looks like a lift arm dent. So after, you know, looking at it, looking underneath, it's right next to the jack point. I concluded that it had been done by a lift. And coincidentally, I had gotten my tires rotated, I think the week before. So I make a note, it's, you know, Sunday, the next day I'm going to go there and talk to them and just kind of ask what was up, maybe kind of prompt them about it. And I was thinking, I hope they don't, you know, argue or try and get out of it. I went to pictures in my phone. Luckily, I take a crap ton of pictures of my car. And I had found pictures before I had taken it to get it rotated, and that dent was not there. The guy, the manager, I know just because, like I said, my cousin used to work at that location, and he was, you know, didn't try and deny it. Kind of really crappy thing is he never said sorry. So I just, you know, I didn't really think of that till after I'd left, but he told me, you know, call this collision place, yada, yada, yada. We get things worked out. Here's where the really crappy part comes in. I mean, as if it hadn't been bad enough. I get a quote, it's like $3,000, doesn't matter to me, I'm not paying for it, the tire shop had to pay for it. So my car ends up staying there for 16 days. 16 days. I got a loaner through the tire shop company. They have cars they lend out, which was really crappy. It was just, the inside was nasty. It had not been cleaned since the last person used it. Not the biggest deal in the world. I end up, like I said, having my car there for 16 days. I'm messaging, you know, the guy at the collision shop because he happens to be in my car club group, and he was like, hey, I have your car in my bay, I'm going to be working on it. would you like me to send you pictures and updates throughout? And I was like, yeah, man, that's awesome. It was day 15. I go and show up at the tire shop, talk to the manager. I said, you know, I want my car back now. They didn't end up releasing it because the tire shop had to do insurance. They wouldn't be paid through, you know, traded out work or something. So the car was done after day like 13 or 12, and it was just sitting there. The reason it was there 12 or 13 days wasn't so much the collision shop's fault, as they had things on back order. And because of low-staffed shipping companies and stuff like that, it was taking forever to get here. Not that big of a deal. But I ended up showing up at the tire shop. I said, man, I want my car back yesterday. I get it the next day. It was just super, I'm trying to keep my mouth clean, super crappy that, you know, they didn't try and take care of me as much as possible, which if you mess up on somebody's car and, you know, appreciate and want their business, I would think that that would be the case. Stuff happens everywhere. There are crappy employees that mess up constantly. It's definitely his fault that he didn't tell. There's no way that he did not know that he did that. It would have been very evident that he crunched my car. I get my car back, good as new. I got text and pictures and stuff like that throughout, which it would have been a lot more frustrating of a process if I hadn't done that. But I will say, what I have learned is I'm not going to use them ever again. And it sucks because I spent a bunch of money there. I bought wheels and tires for the C10 there. I've bought tires for this car here. And since then, we've bought tires for the Yukon, which we bought at the other location, and I'm doing everything through that other location. The moral of the story is, don't be naive like me and think you trust the company and that nothing's going to happen, because it does. Like I said, there's always a bad egg, I feel like. So from here on out, and if you don't already do this, which I know I'm going to get just slammed in the comments for not doing this, walk around your vehicle, look at the actual car, and not just the tires and wheels. Again, I always look at the tires and wheels to make sure they haven't been scuffed up or mistreated when that happens, but I never really thought to look at the actual car because really it wasn't being touched at all, or shouldn't have been. Lesson learned. But yeah, that is what happened to the GTI, and obviously I showed you pictures throughout. Start looking at your vehicle when it comes out of the tire shop. Again, chill with the comments if you think I should have from the get-go, but I had no reason to. I hadn't ever heard of that happening to anybody. It's never happened to me till just now, but lesson learned, I will from here on out. So I will end the crappy year 2020 with a crappy story about how my car got crunched at a tire shop. I appreciate everybody who watches my videos. I appreciate everyone who subscribed. Subscribe, like this video, it does help. And that is it. I hope you have a good rest of your 2020, and I hope 2021 is nothing but good things for everybody. Catch you in 2021.